So now it's time for the bronze medal match in the men's individual compound here on Compound Saturday. The 50-meter range is the target that the athletes will shoot down, and what a lineup we've got for this bronze medal match.
Yeah, this is gonna be a battle. These two have matched up against each other quite a few times, as you can imagine, and every time is a battle.
Well, the key thing here is that Schaff up against Gellenthien is what we've got. They were both leading in their semi-finals and both had a chance to come into the gold medal match here. Really important for Schaff. He needed the win to give him some kind of chance, but they both lost in the final end in the semis, and they face each other for bronze here in Berlin.
So we see both of them walking out together, no coaches. Something, again, the U.S. team has done in the past. When two archers are facing each other, they both decide to take the high road, and neither one has a coach out there.
Yeah, good on them. And these two, as you say, know each other very well. But it's a bittersweet, isn't it, for Kris Schaff? He knows he's not going to the World Cup finals. We look at the rankings of the stats against each other. I mean, Gellenthien and Schaff so close in their average hour. It's 9.76 and a 9.77. There's nothing in it. And the rest of the stats, well, they speak for themselves. But this is the key one. 4-3 in the head-to-head for Gellenthien, but Schaff's won the last three.
Exactly. And again, Braden, the most decorated archer on the World Cup circuit, has the most medals under his belt. Kris, new to the scene, but has definitely come out pounding.
Shooting first is target number 1, Kris Schaff.
Well, we said no coaches, but it looks, is that?
They do have coaches. We have Chris Webster, it looks like, behind Braden, and we have Brady Ellison behind Kris. So Kris has actually stood behind Brady quite a few times, so it looks like Brady's returning the favor.
There we go. There are the coaches. We didn't see them come out. They threw a curveball at us there.
Yeah, we have two recurve archers actually standing behind two compound archers.
Kris Schaff gets us underway for this bronze medal match, and it's straight down the middle of the target.
Yep.
All important first arrow, they both shoot an X, so great way to start the match.
Amazing.
And many times you see the bronze medal match is a much better match than the gold medal match. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the same thing on the men's side here.
Yep.
One more, Kris. Good, strong shot.
I mean, it's been a great season for Kris Schaff, marked as a 9-star, which means it's actually been already marked up to a 10, so we won't go to a measure there. A perfect 30 for Schaff. He's had a great season, but he lost to James Lutz in Antalya and missed out on his chance to go to the World Cup finals. And guess who was coaching James Lutz?
It's like seeing seven rings.
Braden Gellenthien.
Please be good.
You got a window tape,
Right?
He's nice and relaxed as well. He knows he's going to the World Cup final, Gellenthien.
Yeah, Kris was I think a little crushed not to make finals. He's the reigning indoor World Cup final champion. He was last year's World Cup final champion. He really wanted to get that title, both titles in the same year, so.
Yeah, well, you're quite right. He's had a cracking season, Kris Schaff, but he is the champion from Samson last year, the World Cup finals there. Won't be going to the final in Moscow, but he's here shooting for a medal in Berlin, and he'll want one. But without a win or a title this season, Kris Schaff will not be at the finals in Moscow. He will not defend the title he won in Samson in 2018.
Yeah, that's definitely the downside of having a strong, dominant country, is that 2 per country rule really comes into play.
Good, strong shot, Braden.
Braden's going to want to capitalize here, put a nice 10.
Yep.
And he does.
Start of the second end and a drop point already for Kris Schaff. Capitalized, as Crystal said, by Braden Gellenthien. Another 9, both going right.
Little uncharacteristic from Kris. I'm a little surprised to see a second arrow in a row in the 9 ring. But Braden follows it up with a 9, so.
Good, strong shot.
Has the wind picked up? It has.
Does look like it had. See his shirt moving in the wind a little bit.
10, 9, 8.
Just a little wobble there.
Good strong shot, Braden.
Still on the right-hand side, but catches the 10.
Another opportunity for Gellenthien. Just outside the 10 ring, so all square in the second end and all square on points.
I don't know if it is. I can't tell in this fucking scope.
58 Ringe für beide, nachdem sie jetzt hier in dieser Phase jeweils eine 28 geschossen haben.
Both archers with the 28 and both archers with 58 in total.
And we see Kris checking his arrows.
5 ends.
Eben haben sie noch gemeinsam in einem Team geschossen.
Well, the coaches, they're not actually mic'd up, but the scopes, new scopes for this season provided by the sponsor, do have microphones on them. So apologies for some colourful language.
So I'm hoping we get a nice view here in the stands of archery superfan Matt McGuire. I hear is in the stands. He's traveled all the way from New York to be with us today. New fan of archery recently.
Winner of the World Cup, complete World Cup 2018, where the final was in Samsun, Turkey.
Well, an opportunity was presented for Gellenthien. Kris Schaff shooting a 10. Gellenthien just pulling it out into the 9. All square after 2.
It's a 9 or 10.
9 oder 10.
Oh, jeez.
Solid.
Well, I think you heard the reaction from Gellenthien at the start of the third. Oh, geez, I think he said. So not happy with his 9.
10.
10.
Down.
Strong shot right here, Braden.
Well, that measure has suddenly become very important.
So the match is staying close, but surprisingly, they're both dropping a lot of 9s. I was not expecting this match to go this way.
9.
But it is the changeable wind conditions, isn't it?
7. Yep.
I'm not sure. The wind doesn't look enough to really be blowing these guys around. Compound bows, at the speed that the arrows are coming out, you really need a little bit of wind to see it affecting the arrow.
Got the arrow flying, what, around about 300 kilometers, just under 300 kilometers an hour, 290, 270 I've seen in the speed trap that we have every now and again here. But look at that, a measure required on the first arrow for Kris Schaff, already leading by 2. This could be 3.
Looks like a 9 to me. Looks like there was just a hole in the paper.
Target 2, 9, 9, 9.
Well, that's Gellenthien's arrows, all confirmed as 9s.
Good group, just too high. You see the look on his face. He's not happy right now.
Well, there we go, confirmed that Kris Schaff has taken a 2-point lead, taking the third end. 2 points. 2 more ends to go. Schaff has 1 foot on the third step of the podium here in Berlin.
After the third and 87, 85.
Big question here, though, is everyone has pointed out Kris was shooting amazing, and he cut off that mullet. And since then, he hasn't had any big wins. So I don't know what happens here.
Start of the fourth, Gellenthien
There you
trailing,
go.
shoots first into
Looks
the
like another
9.
9.
Let's go, Kris. Good.
And it's
strong
high,
shot.
so he's still in that group. I'm surprised he hasn't moved his sight more. Bring those arrows back down.
10.
The long hold for Schaff here.
7. 6.
Well, excuse the pun, but the power of Samson has been lost. He won in Samson last year.
Yeah.
Samson had the
Yeah,
long.
yeah.
You got me.
Oof.
9.
Braden,
Good strong shot,
I'm
Kris.
really surprised on what's happening here with Braden. 9 after 9.
8.
Oh,
Good strong shot, Braden.
and he just.
There you go.
10.
10.
A mock celebration there, but a 10 here, and it's still 2 points in the lead for Kris Schaff. A
But a
9.
And you see his group this end was higher, so there might be a little bit of a tailwind.
Yeah, look, you talk about the wind, and you said, look, it doesn't affect the compound archers as much, but the thing is, it's changing. It's not a steady breeze, which you guys can handle. It's when it starts gusting around that's the problem.
The biggest thing for compound really comes down to aiming. It's not affecting your arrows as much. It's really affecting how you're able to hold your bow, hold it still on the target in the middle.
Well, that end told its own tale, didn't it? And here we have a look at all of the arrows. Schaff in yellow, Gellenthien in red, and what a spread for Gellenthien.
Yeah, not what we were expecting out of this match for sure.
Liebes Berlin, wenn ihr jetzt nochmal Unterstützung zeigen wollt für beide Schützen, ist jetzt der richtige Zeitpunkt. Auch noch mal einen raus.
Well, Gellenthien shooting a 10 to finish the end off and celebrating in style. Well, some would call it style.
Yeah, it's not just the bronze medal on the line here. These guys, it's really a pride thing between teammates. You really don't want to lose to your teammate.
Bragging rights.
Exactly.
Let's go, Kris.
I don't
Good
think there'll
strong
be
shot.
any
You got it.
exchange of ice cream between these two.
No.
Yep.
Maybe a cold Pilsner straight down the
Good
middle
strong shot.
for Schaff there.
And that gives him a nice big hole in the middle to aim at. So he's going to be happy about putting that arrow. Ooh.
Let's go, Kris. Good strong shot. Yep. Good job. Good job.
Another great shot from Schaff. Marked as a 9, already upgraded to the 10 though.
10.
10.
So potentially a 3-point lead if he puts this in the 10 ring. He keeps the 3-point lead.
This for the win.
And
Oh,
he nails
brilliant
it.
stuff from Kris Schaff. The bragging rights are all his. A warm hug from Braden Gellenthien, but Kris Schaff has taken the bronze here in Berlin. Well, apologies, Brady Ellison clearly doesn't know that the microphones are on at the moment. I'm sure someone will give him a little tap on the shoulder. And
You know, those recurve archers so used to set system, he forgot what he was coaching.
well, he coached his teammate to the bronze medal. Kris Schaff will be on the podium a little bit later on today on Compound Saturday.